Have you ever built a bear? Or do you own a blouse from Nordstrom or its surly cousin, Nordstrom Rack? Get ready to shop till you drop with 15 questions about stores at the mall. This is Trivia with Buds. What? And welcome to the Trivia with Buds podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Buds. Thank you so much for checking out this show and putting it in your ears this week. This is a special mini episode of the show. We put out mini episodes every single Thursday, and here's how the mini episodes work. I pick a topic, or one of my Patreon subscribers picks a topic, and I write 15 questions on it, and I just read those questions to you so you can try and answer them on your commute, on the treadmill, or walking a dog, however you listen to this show. We put those out every single Thursday, and it's very late this Thursday, so it's late in the day. I apologize for that. Lots of stuff going on this week I will talk about in just a second. If you want full episodes of the show, we put it out every Tuesday, and we are on episode 92 this Tuesday, so almost 2 years worth of content for you to go back and listen to if you are a first-time listener. My daily and weekly obligations have gotten bombarded this week with trivia parties and new bars and breweries that want to start trivia nights, and this giant Star Wars Disney Marvel event I'm doing in just a few days on Saturday night. There's 6 tickets left from this thing being sold out. We sold almost 100 tickets. So next week, I promise I'll get back to the normal posting schedule earlier in the day on Thursday for the mini episodes and earlier on Tuesdays for the mini episodes, or for the full-length episodes, and more of the daily Disney trivia if you've been watching the videos on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. I did not post those this week because I just had too much going on, so I'll start posting those again next week. As always, a big special thanks to all my Patreon subscribers for donating their time and nerdy energy to me on a monthly basis. If you like this show, you can get sweet rewards for throwing between $1 and $20 over at patreon.com/trivia with buds. I just added this $20 tier, and Alexis Eck is the only queen of that castle right now. So if you want to jump in, I'm going to put this out there. May's $20 tier surprise is a t-shirt. So if you like t-shirts that have secret jokes hidden on them that you can flash to your friends and family, think about throwing $20 into my hat. Patreon.com/trivia with buds. $20 this month will get you a t-shirt, and then there's a bunch of tiers leading up to 20 if you want stickers, pop culture art squares, VHS tapes that I pick out for you, etc., etc., etc. There's 90 plus other episodes of this show. If you want to check out the older catalog, you can see all the topics by the name of the episode. So go back and check out some of these random episodes. These were fun ones, like episode 82, that was 90s kids movie trivia. Episode 51, that was some Parks and Rec trivia. And episode 41, I Love Lucy trivia. So a couple sitcom episodes for you to check out there. Okay, listeners, it's time to grab your credit card because women be shopping. Men too. Men be shopping. I probably shop more than my wife. She hates shopping. And I like scarves and action figures. So what can you do? 15 questions on stores at the mall. Here we go. All right, diving into 15 questions on stores at the mall. Here comes question number 1. What pretzel chain is based in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and was started in 1988? Question number 1, what pretzel chain was based in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and started in 1988? Question number 2, James Cash is the name attached to what longtime department store? Question number 2, James Cash is a name attached to what longtime department store? Question number 3, Zales is known as the blank store. Zales is known as the blank store. Fill in that blank. Question number 4, what mall-based retail toy store went out of business in 2009? Question number 4, what mall-based retail toy store went out of business in 2009? Question number 5. What type of clothing could you mainly buy at a store called Pea in the Pod? Question number 5. What type of clothing could you mainly buy at a store called Pea in the Pod? Question number 6. Felicity was the name of the first ever what? A brand that now has its own mall store. Question number 6. Felicity was the name of the first ever what? A brand that now has its own mall store. Question number 7. What could you mainly buy at a store called Journeys? What could you mainly buy at a store called Journeys? Question number 8. What does the store Color Me Mine allow you to do? Question number 8. What does the store Color Me Mine allow you to do? Question number 9. What state is home to Mall of America? Question number 9. What state is home to the Mall of America? Question number 10. What store used the longtime slogan, "You're gonna like the way you look"? Question number 10. What store used the longtime slogan, "You're gonna like the way you look"? Question number 11. There's a kids' clothing store called Once Upon a what? Question 11. There's a kids' clothing store called Once Upon a what? Question number 12. What outdoor apparel store includes a compass direction? Question number 12. What outdoor apparel store includes a compass direction? Question number 13. What bookstore that starts with a W was liquidated in bankruptcy in 2011? Question number 13. What W bookstore was liquidated in bankruptcy in 2011? Question number 14. What store was known as the loudest store at the mall starting in 1991? Question 14. What store was known as the loudest store at the mall starting in 1991? And question number 15. How many Cinnabons are there in the world? 500, 1,200, or 10,000? Question number 15. How many Cinnabons are there in the world? 500, 1,200, or 10,000? Those are all your questions about stores at the mall. Let's see how you did in just a second. But before we get to the answers, here's a quick story and a stand-up clip, actually, of me talking about my dad hanging out at malls. All right, for this week's mini episode Store at the Mall story, I was going to talk about my dad hanging out at the mall, which he used to do quite a bit. Orland Mall in Orland Park, Illinois. My mom used to drop him off there, and he used to just hang out there all day during the week and talk to people and get to know them. I did some stand-up about it a few years back, so I thought I would play a clip of me doing some live stand-up comedy, talking about my dad, and then there's a quick interview with a woman who claims she used to see my dad at the mall right after that. So enjoy this audio for this week's story about stores at the mall. My dad hangs out at the mall. That's his hobby. I drop him off. He can't drive anymore. I have to drop him. It's like reverse daycare. We've come full circle in our relationship. Where I'm dropping him off for shit now, and he gets out of the car at the mall. He runs off. I'm like, don't pee on anybody. I don't know. He sits at the mall, and he has all these friends at the mall, but he doesn't know any of their names. He just knows what job they do at the mall. He comes to tell me about them. He's like, yeah, I was talking to Starbucks. Her kid needs braces. Panda Express, he was late for work. And J.C. Penney's trying to fuck Build-A-Bear. Did you know that? You should start a blog. This is like TMZ for Orland Park. He sits on the porch at Hollister. You guys know that store, Hollister? In front of it's like a summery porch with palm trees. We don't have a fucking porch at home, so he just sits there, drinks coffee, and creeps out teenage girls. I can't wait to be retired. That's the life, right? It's like, you buy underwear? Let me watch you buy underwear. Check out my glasses. They're polarized lenses. Indoor, outdoor. My knee's mechanical. Somebody talk to me. Okay, so you just came out of the comedy show, and you, what did you like about my joke about my dad being at Orland Mall?
I've actually seen that man. I have actually been to the Hollister, and I see a man sitting there. And while there, I thought he was like a mannequin, but I found out he moves.
So you've seen my dad sitting there?
I've seen your father sitting there.
And where are you from? Where are you from?
Orland Park. I live right by the mall.
So you're a first-hand account?
Yes, first-hand account.
What's your name?
Kathleen.
Kathleen, thank you so much.
No problem.
There it is. That was my story about my dad hanging out at the mall. Those were some stand-up jokes. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you had a nice laugh wherever you're listening to this show. We're going to dive into the answers to those 15 questions on stores at the mall right now. All right, here we go. 15 questions, and I got 15 answers for you, so let's see how you did on stores at the mall. Question number 1, what pretzel chain is based in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and was started in 1988? The answer was Auntie Anne's Pretzels. Those are really good. Nice, buttery, salty pretzels. Auntie Anne's. Can't go wrong with one of those. Question number 2, James Cash is the name attached to what longtime department store? That, of course, was J.C. Penney. The J.C. in J.C. Penney stands for James Cash. That guy probably made a lot of cash, probably not so much now with people shopping on Amazon. Question number 3, Zales is known as the Diamond Store. The Diamond Store. So diamond was the word we were looking for in the blank there. The Diamond Store, Zales. Question number 4, what mall-based retail toy store went out of business in 2009? That was the beloved KB Toys. Man, did I love KB Toys. My mom would just set me loose in there, and they always had X-Men figures and Power Rangers and G.I. Joes and Street Fighter G.I. Joes, which I used to love, and wrestling figures. And they were always like 3 for $10 or 3 for $5 sometimes, which is insane. So I miss KB Toys because of their amazing low prices. Question number 5, what type of clothing could you mainly buy at a store called Pea in the Pod? That is maternity clothing. Pea in the Pod referring to someone being pregnant. Maternity clothing. Question number 6, Felicity was the name of the first ever what? A brand that now has its own mall store. I was looking for American Girl doll. The American Girl, the first one ever was Felicity. And that sounds about right. Number 6. Number 7, what could you mainly buy at a store called Journeys? I was looking for shoes. Although you can buy backpacks and shirts and things, they mostly sell shoes. Journeys. Question number 8, what does the store Color Me Mine allow you to do? It's a painting, pottery, arts and crafts type store. So if you put anything like that, you are good to go. You can paint your own coffee mug, I think, and bring it home. That sounds about right. Question number 9, what state is home to Mall of America? It is Minnesota. The Twin Cities. I was up there for 10 days one time doing stand-up at the House of Comedy. It's a really fun club in the mall, and my wife, I think, was on unemployment or something at the time, so she got to come with me. I don't think we were married yet. It was in Chicago, and some really fun shows up there with my good friend Jesse Campbell. Shout out to Jesse. Question number 10, what store used the longtime slogan, "You're going to like the way you look"? That was Men's Warehouse. Men's Warehouse, sometimes attached to a mall or a strip mall. Men's Warehouse. They fired that guy a couple years back, the guy that used to say, "You're going to like the way you look." That guy's gone. They got rid of him. And I thought he was like the president. I think he was. I don't know. Somebody look that up. Tell me about it. Number 11, there's a kids' clothing store called Once Upon a Child. Once Upon a Child. There was another cool toy store in Chicagoland called Child World that was like a red castle that was supposed to compete with Toys R Us, I believe, in the 90s. If anyone remembers Child World, send me an email. Tell me about your memories of it. Number 12, what outdoor apparel store includes a compass direction? I was looking for North Face. North Face, those are those expensive winter jackets. Number 13, what bookstore that starts with W was liquidated in bankruptcy in 2011? Walden Books. Walden Books. I used to go there all the time. That's where I used to buy all my Calvin and Hobbes treasuries, all those collections of comic strips at Walden Books. Number 14, what store was known as the loudest store at the mall starting in 1991? I didn't know it went back so far, but it was Hot Topic, 1991. I went to their website, was reading about it, and it was started in a garage in California in 91. Go to history.hottopic.com, and you can just keep scrolling down, and it's like every mention of Hot Topic and pop culture and video clips. It's really cool. Check that out. And your last question, 15, how many Cinnabons are there in the world? Is it 500, 1,200, or 10,000? It's not 500, and it's not 10,000. It's 1,200, the middle number. That's how many Cinnabons there are approximately in the world, 48 countries right now. Those were your mall questions. Hope you had a good time testing yourself on those. Let me know how you did. Hit me up on social media at Ryan Buds on everything. Tell me your score out of 15. Also, if you like stuff and you want to support this show, I will mail you stuff every month. Patreon.com/trivia with buds. Donate between $1 and $20. If you like the show, you want it to keep growing, I would love for you to throw me a few bucks. All the funds raised there will go into making this show bigger and better each and every week. Thank you so much. If you bought tickets to the Disney Marvel Star Wars event this Saturday night, 94 tickets sold. It's insane. It's going to sell out in the next 2 days, and I greatly appreciate if you listened and got tickets. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next week, we got a full-length episode, another one coming up, and a mini episode. both of which will be surprises to you and me. So I gotta find a way to record those in the next few days. Thanks for listening and telling a friend about this show. And always, thank you for rating, reviewing, and subscribing. We're close to 90 reviews on this show on iTunes. The next 5 listeners, I said this last week as well, that leave me a review will get a Pop Culture Art Square of their choice mailed to them from me. You can tell me what you're into, and I'll find you something really cool drawn by my friend Drew A. Blank. If you leave a review, just make sure to email me, ryanbuds@gmail.com, so I know to go look for it. Thank you again for listening. I hope you have a great weekend, and cheers.